Recently, my family and I decided to take a trip to Knoebels Amusement Park in Elysburg, Pennsylvania. Knoebels is a free admission park. You don't have to pay to get in. You just buy ride tickets, or you pay for games if you'd like to play. This is the entrance to the park. Just to the left here are a number of picnic tables and eating pavilions that you can rent. You can even bring your own lunch into the park if you'd like, with a cooler, or leave it in the car and eat it later. It really is a great value. Here's some of the games we saw. One of the barbecue stands had a giant ear of corn that you could get. I didn't try it, but it looked delicious. One area of the park has an old sawmill. They have this tree on a railroad cart, and they have a number of other saws and implements that they would have used to cut up the lumber and transport it a long time ago. This is a forge that they had nearby. There was no blacksmith working the day we were visiting. This baseball bat was made on a 14-foot custom-made wood lathe. This is all part of that sawmill area. Knoebels has two different carousels. This 28-horse carousel is the smaller of the two, and we'll take a look at the grand carousel a bit later. Time to cool off at the North Pole. It's not the real North Pole, but it is made out of ice, and it's nice and cool to touch. We'll come back and visit the Christmas shop in a little bit. You can even play mini golf. Mini golf, just like all of the rides and games, is a separate price, but the fact that they have their own course right here in the middle of the park is something really exciting that families can enjoy. One of the things I enjoyed about this park are all the statues and signs paying homage to our veterans of the United States. We found these remote control boats, but we didn't give them a try. It looked like a lot of fun. This is a family park, and that means you can bring your dog family too. We saw dogs of all shapes and sizes walking around the park that day. This cafeteria-style restaurant had quite a number of home-style meals that you wouldn't find in most amusement parks. As it is free admission, many of the locals come just for some of the special food nights. This was the eating area. These flood level signs can be found around the park in various places to indicate the different levels that the flooding has occurred in the past. Here comes Piper, one of the park's mascots. Knoebels has 4 big roller coasters, one of which, the Phoenix, is one of the highest rated and most popular wooden roller coasters in the entire United States. It was previously at a park in Texas before it was moved to Knoebels, and it's certainly one of the best airtime roller coasters that I've ever been on. Here we are back at the North Pole again. Let's take a look inside the shop. Now it's time to take a ride on Knoebel's Grand Carousel. It was built in 1913 and later moved to this park. Knoebels takes their carousel history very seriously. They even have a carousel museum that we'll check out in just a moment. This carousel actually has 2 separate queue lines, one for the outer row of horses and one for all the chariots and horses on the middle rows. You'll see why in a moment. You may have noticed some of the riders reaching off to the side. This is one of the very few carousels that lets riders grab metal brass rings while the ride is in motion. That lion is a target where to throw the rings as you come around again. Now we're going to take a look inside the carousel gift shop and museum. Many of the horses featured here are hand-carved and hand-painted, and some date back to as late as the late 19th century. The animals in the middle are not all horses, they're a various group of animals. The outer ring is all the different hand-carved horses on display. This sign looks just like the one on the actual Grand Carousel. Many of the horses in this building are over 100 years old. You can even purchase a brass ring or carousel music from the gift shop. We loved all the wooded scenery as we walked around the park. don't worry, there's plenty of kiddie rides for the little ones. I love some of the classic signs that we could find around the park. This roller coaster is called Impulse, and it's one of the newest rides in the park. One other thing that's different than most amusement parks, not all the roads and pathways are paved here at Knoebels. Many of the areas are just gravel. Something to consider when planning your footwear for the day. Playland was the big arcade that we found, and it was even open before most of the rides were in the morning time. We played some games before we started looking at the rides. We came back at the end of the day to cash in our tickets from before. This arcade had a good mix of classic and modern games. As I was checking out the pinball area, these retro signs on the top of the wall caught my eye. I then started to notice them around the rest of the arcade, and I walked around again to look at them all. Here's some more of those signs up here on the wall. After you've counted up your tickets, it's time to head over to the price counter. Another of the unique features of this park are some of the unique items we found in the arcade. time to head back out. It was getting late, so we decided to start walking back towards the front of the park. The line for ice cream was getting quite long. This gift shop had Knoebels Park merchandise, but there was some ride-specific merchandise near some of the rides. That second banner in the background says golf, and they do have a full-size golf course just up the road from the park. Oh, I almost forgot. Coolers are allowed, and you can bring your own lunch right into the park, along with your pets. The park offers stroller, power wheelchair, and wagon rentals. And you can even get your shoes shined. Here we are back at the front gate and the picnic grounds. We had a great day at Knoebels, and we hope you'll go there sometime to visit. Thanks for watching.